Scotland, a nation in verse. An introduction. Scottish poetry is a powerful, beautiful expression of country and culture. Its proud history includes such figures as Robert Burns, Sir Walter Scott, Robert Louis Stevenson, James Thompson, Charles Sawley, James Hogg, David Gray, and many other illustrious figures. Poetry is in their blood, their hearts and their minds, a reflection and extension of both themselves and the land that produces them.
Hymn on Solitude by James Thompson. Hail, mildly pleasing solitude, companion of the wise and good, but from whose holy piercing eye the herd of fools and villains fly. Oh, how I love with thee to walk, and listen to thy whispered talk, which innocence and truth imparts, and melts the most obdurate hearts. 1,000 shapes you wear with ease, and still in every shape you please. Now wrapped in some mysterious dream, a lone philosopher you seem. Now quick from hill to vale you fly, and now you sweep the vaulted sky. A shepherd next you haunt the plain, and warble forth your oaten strain. A lover now, with all the grace of that sweet passion in your face. Then, calmed to friendship, you assume the gentle-looking Hertford's bloom, as with her Musidora she, her Musidora fond of thee, amid the long withdrawing vale awakes the rival nightingale. Thine is the balmy breath of morn, just as the dew-bent rose is born. And while meridian fervours beat, thine is the woodland dumb retreat. But chief, when evening scenes decay, and the faint landscape swims away, thine is the doubtful soft decline, and that best hour of musing thine. Descending angels bless thy train, the virtues of the sage and swain, plain innocence in white arrayed, before thee lifts her fearless head. Religion's beams around thee shine, and cheer thy glooms with light divine. About thee sports sweet liberty, and rapt Urania sings to thee. O let me pierce thy secret cell, and in thy deep recesses dwell. Perhaps from Norwood's oak-clad hill, when meditation has her fill, I just may cast my careless eyes where London's spiry turrets rise, think of its crimes, its cares, its pain, then shield me in the woods again.
A Red, Red Rose by Robert Burns. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till a' the seas gang dry. Till a' the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. And I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands o' life shall run. And fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while. And I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 mile.
Lochinvar by Walter Scott. O young Lochinvar has come out of the west. Through all the wide border his steed was the best, and save his good broadsword he weapons had none. He rode all unarmed, and he rode all alone, so faithful in love, and so dauntless in war. There never was knight like the young Lochinvar. He stayed not for brake, and he stopped not for stone. He swam the Esk river where ford there was none. But ere he alighted at Netherby gate, the bride had consented, the gallant came late. For a laggard in love and a dastard in war was to wed the fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. So boldly he entered the Netherby hall, among bridesmen and kinsmen and brothers and all. Then spoke the bride's father, his hand on his sword, for the poor craven bridegroom said never a word. "O come ye in peace here, or come ye in war, or to dance at our bridal, young Lord Lochinvar? I long wooed your daughter, my suit you denied. Love swells like the Solway, but ebbs like its tide. And now I am come with this lost love of mine, to lead but one measure, drink one cup of wine. There are maidens in Scotland more lovely by far, that would gladly be bride to the young Lochinvar. The bride kissed the goblet, the knight took it up. He quaffed off the wine, and he threw down the cup. She looked down to blush, and she looked up to sigh, with a smile on her lips and a tear in her eye. He took her soft hand, ere her mother could bar. "Now tread we a measure," said young Lochinvar. So stately his form, and so lovely her face, that never a hall such a gallier did grace. While her mother did fret, and her father did fume, and the bridegroom stood dangling his bonnet and plume, and the bridemaidens whispered, "'Twere better by far to have matched our fair cousin with young Lochinvar." One touch to her hand, and one word in her ear, when they reached the hall door, and the charger stood near. So light to the croup the fair lady he swung, so light to the saddle before her he sprung. "She has won! We are gone over bank, bush, and scaur. They'll have fleet steeds that follow," quoth young Lochinvar. There was mounting 'mong Grahams of the Netherby clan, Fosters, Fenwicks, and Musgraves, they rode and they ran. There was racing and chasing on Cannobie Lee, but the lost bride of Netherby ne'er did they see. So daring in love and so dauntless in war, have ye e'er heard of gallant like young Lochinvar?
The Dirge of Wallace by Thomas Campbell. When Scotland's great regent, our warrior most dear, the debt of his nature did pay, 'twas Edward the cruel had reason to fear, and cause to be struck with dismay. At the window of Edward the raven did croak, though Scotland a widow became. Each tie of true honour to Wallace he broke, the raven croaked sorrow and shame. At Elderslie Castle no raven was heard, but soothings of honour and truth. His spirit inspired the soul of the bard to comfort the love of his youth. They lighted the tapers at dead of night, and chanted their holiest hymn, but her brow and her bosom were all damp with affright, her eye was all sleepless and dim. And the lady of Elderslie wept for her lord, with a death-watch beat in her lonely room, when her curtain shook of its own accord, and the raven flapped at her window-board to tell of her warrior's doom. Now sing ye the death-song, and loudly pray for the soul of my knight so dear, and call me a widow this wretched day, since the warning of God is here. For a nightmare rests on my strangled sleep, the lord of my bosom is doomed to die. His valorous heart they have wounded deep, and the blood-red tears his country shall weep for Wallace of Elderslie. Yet knew not his country that ominous hour, ere the loud matin bell was rung, that the trumpet of death on an English tower the dirge of her champion sung. When his dungeon light looked dim and red on the high-born blood of a martyr slain, no anthem was sung at his lowly deathbed, no weeping was there when his bosom bled and his heart was rent in twain. When he strode o'er the wreck of each well-fought field with the yellow-haired chiefs of his native land, for his lace was not shivered on helmet or shield, and the sword that was fit for archangel to wield was light in his terrible hand. Yet bleeding and bound, though the Wallace wight for his long-loved country die, the bugle ne'er sung to a braver knight than William of Elderslie. But the day of his triumph shall never depart, his head unentombed shall with glory be palmed. From its blood-streaming altar his spirit shall start, though the raven has fed on his mouldering heart, a nobler was never embalmed.
The Vagabond by Robert Louis Stevenson. Give to me the life I love, let the lave go by me. Give the jolly heaven above, and the byway nigh me. Bed in the bush with stars to see, bread I dip in the river. There's the life for a man like me, there's the life forever. Let the blow fall soon or late, let what will be o'er me. Give the face of earth around, and the road before me. Wealth I seek not, hope nor love, nor a friend to know me. All I seek, the heaven above, and the road below me. Or let autumn fall on me, where afield I linger, silencing the bird on tree, biting the blue finger. White as meal the frosty field, warm the fireside haven. Not to autumn will I yield, not to winter even. Let the blow fall soon or late, let what will be o'er me. Give the face of earth around, and the road before me. Wealth I ask not, hope nor love, nor a friend to know me. All I ask, the heaven above and the road below me.